done Spica, and it is one that is not going to have a pattern. The key to this one, I think, is making sure that you make your piece of material not to fit the arm before you start trying to mold it. So if you would look at your patient, and so if this is going to be the piece that everybody's going to be dealing with. Okay, so I just want it to be about half the circumference of their forearm, and they're going to be in neutral. The position we want them to be in is the wrist at about 30 degrees of extension, the thumb to be in between radial and palmar abduction. The IP will be free so that they can oppose. So I would want her to be able to do that, okay? So I've got a piece in the water. You will be given the rubric of which you will be graded on when you're told which splint you're going to be making. So that way, no, is this too hot? Let me know, because it's pretty warm. Is it okay?
It feels good.
Sure. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and make that a little bit more narrow, because if I don't, what tends to happen, remember we get that ridge at the wrist. If I'm cutting, I'm going to go ahead and just round my edges. So that way I'm saving time and my finishing time. Okay. So I'm going to just drape that on there. And I'm going to get my two edges and I'm going to have them meet. And then I'm going to pinch. And I'll tell you, this is so much easier than that other material that we did this on. Okay, it's a very drapable material, right? So I'm just going to let it do its thing. Flare my edge while I'm here. Okay, so I'm going to let that sit for just a second. I'm probably going to trim a little bit here. Make sure she is down. Thank you. Okay, while that's hardening, let's talk about straps. On the strap, you're going to have one at the base and the one at the wrist, okay? You will be applying your straps for your splint. We want this to be nice and smooth on the inside, so whenever I cut this piece out, sometimes it's a V, sometimes it's a square. I'm going to have more of a square to cut today. Then I do not want to cut that right at the seam, or it's going to pop open. So I want to have a little bit of about a 1/4 inch seam allowance if you're a seamstress, and then I'll use my heat gun to heat that really good and then fold it back onto itself. If you'll remember, some of us didn't heat that well enough, and so we had a big ridge there. So we really would like for that to be flat so that they can, if they want to hold something against their splint, it's not going to get in the way. Okay, so I said I wanted to trim that off. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay, so this is what I was talking about. I want to make sure I'm just going to go right, give about a 1/4 inch. Okay, and I'm going to go to the heat gun, heat that really good, and fold it back onto itself. Sometimes I can go ahead and get rid of that, but I'll get more of that in a second. Maybe over here. If you'll kind of keep alternating this, you can get it really hot and not gummy. Okay, so let's see if I have it. I don't. Are you the professional photographer for the class? Mm-hmm. Appreciate that. Okay, so I'm folding the sky over. And I don't care which direction you go with it. But I'm pinching it on the inside so that it's going to be a smooth seam as well. whenever I pinch this, it tends to grow into that web space, but I'm going to get rid of that piece, okay? Be careful that you don't make a bell here at the thumb. And then I'm going to just trim that off. Okay, so what I have left to do is going to be the thumb, the IP crease. So, I'm going to go about right there. And I'm going to just dip that in water. When you cut this, I usually just kind of start at an angle and just start working around it. Okay, so let's see if I'm close here. I think I need to go a little bit more. Okay. Does that feel all right? Okay, so can you pinch there? All right, so we've got the edges flared. She's clear at her IP crease. She's in probably about 30 degrees of extension, and she can oppose her index to her thumb. My straps would just go here and here. I would make sure that my edges are smooth, but that's how you would form that, okay?
Do you not flare out the thumb?
I don't want you to flare it to where you're